Hey there, welcome back to A Maker's Studio YouTube channel. My name is Lianep and I'm so excited to be partnering once again with them to bring you a very easy farmhouse style DIY. Normally you would find me on my own YouTube channel, DIY Beauty on Purpose, where I create DIY high-end decor all on a budget. Today's DIY is going to be a very easy bead garland that I am certain that you can actually recreate at home very easily. Before we get started with the actual DIY, I like to go over the supplies and items that I'm going to be using. That way you can take notes, and if you are going to recreate it, it'll be so much easier for you. Let's do that first, and then we'll get started with the DIY. So the stencil we're going to be using today is this mesh stencil, and it's a grouping, and it has several. It has a very vintage look. It has a key, bee, several crowns, animals, flowers, even a stamp. I think it's really cute, and it has a lot of options, but I am leaning towards using this bee. Isn't it beautiful? So normally I would cut around the stencil and then just use what I need, but because they're so close to each other, I think what I'm going to do today, I'm going to try it out, is I'm going to place some painter's tape around it, so covering up the other stencils around it. And that way when we get to the point of using it, we can just use the stencil, and we're just gonna try it. If not, we'll just cut it and it'll be okay. But that way it'll give me all this room to be able to squeegee the ink on it and be okay. So let's move that out. So that's the stencil we're going to be using. I'm also going to be using, because we're creating a bead garland, I'm using several things, and I may change things here and there as I create it, because it may evolve and I may change my mind. But these are from Dollar Tree. There's some little wooden tags. They come 4 in a pack, and tell me these are not like the cutest things ever. Look how cute that is. I just love it. So we're gonna use some of these. I'm not sure how many yet. I'm gonna use some wooden beads that I get on Amazon. I do have them on my Amazon store. And I am going to use some white beads. These aren't wooden. These are more like paper. But we're also gonna use some of these. And again, how many will be determined on how long I want my garland to be. I'm also going to use some fabric, just a combination of different fabrics. And again, I may change things as I go, but so far I have this white and black polka dot fabric, some drop cloth, and some flour sack towels from the Dollar Tree. We'll see how these come together, but we're also going to have, of course, some jute string. This is what's going to be on this is what's going to hold the garland. And I want to do black because I kind of want to go with a black and white combination, but we'll see. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to right away start stenciling the bees. And I'm going to leave these tags this color. I'm not even going to mess with them. I was contemplating painting them white and then doing the stencil in black, but I think if I do, let me check something. Be okay. I do have some extra ones, so we'll stencil one first and see how it goes. I'm just concerned with the white line surrounding them, so, but I do like the line, you know what I'm saying? So let's just try it out and see how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna start stenciling it. I am going to be using the A Maker Studio Gel Art ink, and this is Well I'll Declare, and it's their white tone. All right, so I'm gonna put some here on this little platform, and we're gonna do one first and see how it goes. And then where's my squeegee? Here's my squeegee. And then let's grab the stencil. So if you've never worked with stencil, this is like my 3rd or 4th time, and so I'm still learning, but they're really easy to work with. So basically you just want to peel off. They are reusable, so they are going to be sticky on the back, and they recommend that you wash them directly after you use them. That way you can get a lot of the paint or the ink off of the mesh, and I love using them. I love that you can reuse them. I think it's just so convenient and the possibilities are endless. All right, so let's place one. So I can already tell that it's going to overlap the white areas, but let's just see how much of it. So we're just gonna try it. So you just want to place it and then press it as much as you can so that you don't get as much bleed through. And if I do, I'm normally fine with it, unless it's like, you know, a lot, then I want to redo it. But I'm pretty flexible with my work and try not to stress about being perfect. So, okay. So I'm just going to grab some of the ink just like this, and then I'm just going to start placing it. So you basically want to squeeze it. Squeeze it? Squeeze it? I don't know how I said. Pretty much spread it, right? Using the squeegee. That looks about right. Now I'm going to remove it. And there it is. I love it. So I think I'm gonna roll with it. I kind of like it. So let's do two more. And once again, we are going to place it right on there. And then grab some ink and squeeze it. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this. That's it. And then you remove it. There's the second one. Do the same thing. I'm glad I used the tape in there as close as I can. And a little bit of ink goes a long way because there's not much to use. There's not much to stencil with, so you save a lot of. Okay. There's the other one. I may or may not need all four of them, but we are sure going to have them ready in case I do. Okay. Perfection. I love it. I'm gonna go clean the stencil really fast, let them dry, and then we're gonna continue to build the garland. All right, so now I'm gonna take my fabric and I'm just gonna start cutting some strips and just have a few of them ready. And let's see. This is a very light flour sack towel, but for $1, it's pretty good. I'm gonna move these so that, okay. All right, so the strips I wanna cut, I don't wanna have a seam like that, so I'm just gonna cut those out first. And I wanna have strips that are about, maybe about an inch thick, give or take, and maybe about a foot long. We'll eye them out here in a minute. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this part because I want them to have just the portions that are cut and they get a little frayed, and I like that look. So I'm going to cut probably about that thick. I'm just going to go all the way to the other end and then cut as needed. Using fabric scissors is the best thing you can do. I usually use my crafting scissors for everything else, and then my fabric scissors for just fabric, and it makes a world of a difference. So if you want to invest in some, I highly recommend it. Okay, so let me think here. Yeah, so we're gonna cut this one long strip into two, just down the middle. And just to give you a measurement, in case you are looking for one, they are about 15 inches long. All right, so we have 2 of these, and I'm thinking I am going to do 2 more of this one. Doesn't that just cut beautifully? It's very satisfying. Okay. And then this one we're gonna just leave that size. And we're gonna cut another one. Okay. Save that. And then when it comes to the drop cloth, I may or may not need it, but we're gonna give it a whirl. So the way I cut drop cloth, I just make a little slit and then I just pull, and you get this awesome frayed edges that are just so awesome. I just love it. And it's so easy too. I mean, can't get any easier than that. And there you go. All right. So again, we may or may not use all of these, but at least we'll have them. Okay, so we're gonna start putting together the garland. So I'm gonna take a piece of string here, and it don't matter how long it is. And I'm also going to be using one of these kneading needles. I try to use the one that has the thickest opening. Make another hole. This is a crop-a-dial, and I got it on Amazon, and you can certainly get it on Amazon as well. I do have them on my Amazon store. So this is a piece of thin like wood like this, but it goes through it like super easy. So I'm just gonna eye it out where I want to make a hole. And there it is. Now I have 2 holes, the one that it came with and then that one. I'm actually going to just thread it just like this. And then we're going to tie it here. Okay, just a regular knot. There you go. Okay, and then the goal is to get these 2 through the hole. There it goes. Yay. And then we will start threading in a pattern. Now I suggest you kind of plan what pattern you kind of want to see, and then in my mind I kind of know what I want to see, but again we will go as we go. So I'm going to put some of these, they tend to roll away, so I'm going to put some there and some here. And that way they're nicely there and they're not gonna roll away on me. Okay, so let's start with some white ones here. Okay, so maybe do like, let's see, I'm gonna do about maybe four white ones. And then let's do a regular color one. Let's see how I like that, how it's looking. I like it. It looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do 4 more. Oh boy, there it goes. They only have, the paper ones only have a hole just on one end. It's kind of odd, but it's not hard to break through. I mean, it's just paper. You just have to push it through. Okay, so we have 4. I'll put a natural color one. Let me do one more set of 4. So 4 more on this side. So now we have 3 sets of 4 white ones and 3 sets of just single natural wood ones. Okay. All right, so for now, we're just gonna make a very simple kind of like knot, but not tie it. And we're gonna start working on the other side. So we're gonna do the same thing, but on this side. I am going to grab another one of the tags with the beautiful stencil. And we are going to tie it. Kind of see where I'm going with it. I'm gonna do one more. There we have it. I'm gonna cut this here. Doesn't that look good already? I like how that looks. All right, so now we're gonna create some tassels at the ends using the fabric that I cut off. So we are gonna take, if you've never created tassels, it is like the easiest thing ever. It really is. So we're gonna start with this end. So make sure you have some jute string at the end of each end. And then we're gonna take one of each of these. So one white one, one polka dot, and one drop cloth. And we are going to just tie them in the center with this. Just like that, as tight as you can. Then we are going to bring them down, and we are going to tie right here with some more jute string. We're just going to reuse some of this instead of having to waste any more. So I'm going to tie right here. Really snug. Such an easy craft, such an easy DIY to make. And then of course using a stencil like a Maker Studio stencil just makes life so much easier. So now we are going to cut these so that they are nice and even. And we have one end nicely done. And then we are going to take the other side, do the same thing. So easy. And you can make the tassels even thicker. I think that would have been absolutely fine. But I like the way it looks with just these. So let's try to make them the same length as possible. So I'm gonna take the other one. It's like cutting hair. And then cutting the excess. I am loving it. Now imagine this twice as long using the other two, right? So keep going, same pattern, and making it long enough where you can hang it on a fireplace. Now this I want to hang like on a decor, but I think it's just absolutely beautiful, and I think that stencil was perfect. So this is it for today. I am so beyond excited on how this bead garland turned out. I love the colors, I love the style, and using a Maker Studio mesh stencil makes it so easy and so much fun. I love the way it turned out. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can recreate this and use any colors you want, and the possibilities are endless. I want to thank a Maker Studio once again for partnering with me and having me over on their YouTube channel. It is always a blast. It is always a pleasure using their products. I love them. I genuinely love using each and every one of them. And if you want to recreate your own and buy your own supplies from a Maker Studio, don't forget to visit the description box down below, where you're going to find a whole bunch of links for you to get these items yourself. Don't forget to also visit my channel, DIY Beauty on Purpose, and I hope you like what you see, and I hope you want to join our family as well. I'll see you later. Have a blessed day and have fun creating. Bye.